Welcome to Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and we got a shopping haul. I guess we're gonna call it a Dollar Tree haul, although there's a little bit more than just Dollar Tree. We'll start with some nylon hobby line, 14.6 pounds. There's 328 feet of it. Basically fishing line, really, but it's labeled as nylon hobby line, and this was $2, so I purchased 2 of them. And next I have 1.5 pound 328 feet of hobby line, and I purchased 2 of those. These were 99 cents a piece. These were $1 a piece. And lastly, from this place, and I'm trying to, it was either Menards or Lowe's, and honestly I can't remember which one it was because I get those two confused. We have both of them in our town, one on either side of town. It was the one that was furthest north, not that that tells anybody what it was. I'm thinking Menards, but I could be wrong. Really wrong. It could be Lowe's. So either way, I got a camouflaged polytarp. It's a 10 by 12, and this was like 11 bucks, and I purchased 1 of those. So that was the items from that store. Next, I went to a local Army-Navy store, and we have one in town. It's not a place that I go a lot, but I do go on occasion. I did end up purchasing 6 P-38s, little military can openers, but I can't show them to you because I already placed them in kits. So I got those, and this little folding utility saw, which I have not opened yet. I saw it sitting there, and I asked the guy about it, and we both agreed that it probably wouldn't be very effective as a saw, but I told him it didn't really matter because what I was really thinking about using it for was a fish scaler. And originally they were selling for like $4, but he had them marked down to $1, and he also gave it to me for free, and all he wanted me to do was come back and let him know whether or not it worked as a fish scaler. So he gave it to me free, so I'm going to test this out to see if it works as a fish scaler, and then I'm going to report back to him and let him know. And I got a free little folding utility saw out of it, and if it does work, you know, I might purchase a couple of them from him and add to a kit here or there. Alrighty, now let's get to the Dollar Tree. We found a different Dollar Tree that we had not been to yet. It's in a small town about 30 miles down the road, and we found it a few days ago, so Michelle wanted to check it out today, so we drove there and checked it out. I got a few things. First is I got a 16 gauge 6-foot extension cord just to use around the house here. Nothing survival about that, unless of course, you know, I have to tear it apart and use the wiring for snare wire or something like that or whatever. It's not really an outdoors thing. Next, I purchased a super soft microfiber cloth, and it's 16 inches by 24 inches, and ooh, pardon me. And what I plan on using this for is actually I'm going to sew it together, and I'm going to make a little pillowcase that I can stuff full of something or other and take out to my new shelter that I'm working on outside. Next is one of those 6-inch hacksaws. Now, if you've noticed, if you've watched my other videos, I did a review on this, and this is totally 100% without doubt useless as a hacksaw. If that's your intended purpose for it, don't even purchase it. I'm telling you right now that right here, this is just all plastic, and right here is plastic, and as soon as you put any pressure whatsoever, it just snaps and breaks. It's completely useless as a hacksaw. But we went to this store, this Dollar Tree, before I went to the Army-Navy store. And my intended purpose was to take this hacksaw blade and make cut it in half and make 2 fish scalers out of it. I figured I could get 2 of them for $1, and you know, that would be that. So that's originally why I purchased this. But when I went to the Army-Navy store, of course, I got that one there to try out. The guy gave it to me to try it, so you know, I'm going to do that. But I'm also going to make a fish scaler out of this too, so that I can review that, and I'll let everybody know. Hopefully I take you out with me and show you. Next, 3 more lighters, because in all honesty, I'm a prepper, I'm a survivalist, and I'm also a bushcrafter. But when it comes to starting fire, this right here is pretty much a guarantee compared to the more primitive ways of doing it. So I'm definitely going to have lighters around. And I found this one. It's an electronic ignition pre-adjusted flame long-range nozzle lighter. So it was I figured I'd give this one a go, just because it was a little different. It's smaller than those really big ones, but it's a little bit bigger than the regular big ones. Next, I have a flavor injector. This will go into my kit because you never know when something like this would be required in an emergency situation. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to hear a bunch of people bitching and saying, oh, you can't do that, or that's not possible, or that's not very, you know. So I'm not even going to tell you what I plan on keeping that for. Let your imaginations run wild. So anyway, 2 bandanas. I don't have a lot of bandanas. I don't really keep a lot of bandanas. But I went ahead and grabbed a couple bandanas. I got some 7.5-inch nylon cable ties. These are some zip ties. Got a pack of those. There's 60 of them in there. I did end up getting some really small ones that I did place into those 6 kits that I've been working on. But zip ties work for so many things, and I might take them out and see if they work on my shelter out there. I was gonna keep it just, you know, as primitive as possible, but you know, to be totally honest, if I'm stuck in the woods and I have zip ties and PVC pipe with me, I'm building a shelter with it. That's all I got to say. A couple drop cloths, 9 feet by 12 feet, 0.7 mil thick. Just a couple pieces of white plastic. Again, nice shelter builds, or at least, you know, effective if I've got nothing else. I did also purchase a couple of these car shade sunshades, and I have a couple more out in my storage shed. And what I plan on using these for is inside my shelter to help reflect heat. I purchased 2 of those. And lastly, I got this seafood seasoning breading mix. I plan on going out and doing some fishing, so I got some breading that I could take out there in case I decide I want to cook out there. Not 100% sure I will, but I like to have it just in case. So that was that's my haul for today. I went to the Army Navy store and got a couple little small things. I spent $3 at the Army Navy store. And then I went to, was this Menards or Lowe's? Do you remember?
Menards.
Menards. Okay, it was Menards. So I went to Menards.
Rallies. What do you want?
I don't care, whatever. I went to Menards, and that's where I got the nylon hobby line and the camouflage tarp. And then the Dollar Tree, where I got the rest of the stuff. So thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors.